Okay, so we're starting again from the beginning of paragraph Chavtes. Even the last time we went a paragraph or a paragraph and a half into it, right? So the theme here has been to differentiate between the mitzvah of Talmud Torah and other mitzvahs, including tefillah, right? And the kedusha of Torah and other things. Okay, so let's get into it because it's kind of almost like an independent parak. Okay, so Hine Rabbi Zal Omru, Dorosh Rabbi Menachem. So we should also say that probably we should learn in the schus of Tinak ben Shira Yael and Shira Yael Bas Lior. Okay, so Hine Rabbi Zal Omru Dorosh Rabbi Menachem Bar Yosi Kiner Mitzvah V'Torah Or. Right, so the Gemara says on the pasuk that Ner is a mitzvah, a candle is a mitzvah, and Torah is light. Tolo hakosuv es ha-mitzvah b'ner v'es ha-Torah b'or. The pasuk compares the mitzvah to a ner, to a candle, v'es ha-Torah to a light. Loimer lecha, to teach you man ner and a meir ela lefisho, just like a candle only gives light, illuminates for temporarily lefisho, for a moment, for an hour. Af mitzvah eina magino ela lefisho. So to a mitzvah protects a person for a temporary amount of time. And just like a light is eternal, so to Torah protects eternally. Okay, that's the initial statement of the Gemara. And then the Gemara concludes, after several back and forths, the Torah, that the mitzvah of Torah, be'idna de osigba, at the time that a person is involved in it, magina umatzla, protects and saves. And so Rashi and the Gemara says over here that they bring it down that it protects min ha-yisurim from yisurim, from punishments, right, from affliction. Umatzla, and it saves mi yetzer hara, from yetzer hara, v'lo yakshilanu bechet, and the person should not stumble upon sin. So that's what saving means, saving from yetzer hara, according to Rashi, and protection means protecting from yisurim. I thought initially that protecting means protecting from Yisurin, and saving means also saving from Yisurin once they already come. I mean, it's different to protect from Yisurin before they show up, where saving is from Yisurin after they show up. My sense is that the Nefesh HaChaim may not be going with Rashi. I don't know, but I don't have any concrete evidence to that. Anyway, so Torah protects and saves at the time that a person is learning. Be'idna deloy asigbo, when a person is not learning, right? So even after learning, agune magne, the Torah is able to protect, atzulei loy matzla, but it is not able to save. Mitzvah, on the other hand, a mitzvah, bein be'idna de asigbo, bein be'idna deloy asigbo, agune magne, the mitzvah is able to protect at the time that a person is involved in it, and even afterwards. Atzulei loy matzle, but the mitzvah has no power to save. Okay? And furthermore, the Gemara says over there that an avera can extinguish another mitzvah, right? So the avera the person does with a certain part of his body can extinguish the mitzvah, the schar of the mitzvah, the protective schar of the mitzvah that he did with that part of the body. But avera is not able to extinguish the schar, the reward of learning Torah. Good. So that's the Gemara and Soita. So he's going to explain this in a deeper way. A similar concept is known in Zohar, Shatariag mitzvos, that the 613 commandments, they are parallel to the 613 limbs and veins and sinews that a person has. When a person fulfills one of the mitzvahs of Hashem properly, then he sanctifies through that mitzvah that body part, that aver, which is parallel negdo, to that mitzvah. and he revives that body part. Or if it occurs to him and falls under his hand, one of the mitzvahs that he should not do, in other words, averos, right? V'nimna, but he was able to restrain himself, to peiresh, and he separated himself, v'loy aso, and did not do the severa. Asher alovim Rabbi Zal, that regarding this case, the rabbis said in Yerushalmi in Perkama the Kiddushin, Yoshav Odom v'loy over aver, if a person was sitting, in other words, he was passive, v'loy over aver, and he did not do an avera, noisnin loy sachar ka'ois mitzvah. They give him schar like somebody who does a mitzvah. Right? So, meaning, when a person is pulled towards a certain avera, and he has an active passivity, meaning it's not that, okay, whatever, I'm not interested in this. I think this is a situation where, my passivity, meaning my not going after the severe required an effort, like Yosef in last week's parsha, right? So they gave him a schar ka'osa mitzvah. So nidhar, in other words, he is purified through that abstention. And as a result, he sanctifies that gid, that sinew, that particular sinew that's parallel to that avera. And he gives it life. These are the mitzvahs that a person does, and he lives in them, right? So the mitzvahs provide life force to the organs and to the veins and sinew that parallel those mitzvahs. That's what we call a person an ish chai. That's how far we got last time. Amnam, however, when a person is learning Torah, regarding Torah, it is written, it heals all flesh. It heals all flesh. And so the Gemara says in Eruvin, somebody has a discomfort in his head, he should learn Torah. Shenamar, as the pasuk says, "Kilivias chein heim lireishecha," meaning the words of Torah are like livias chein. They're like whatever it is, grace to your head. But the point is, the Gemara wants to get from here is that we see that Torah acts as some kind of a positive towards one's head. Chosh begroino, if a person has a throat ache, Yasuk b'Torah, he should also learn Torah. Shenamar, and the Gemara brings a pasuk for that. Chash b'vnei meyav, if a person has a stomach ache, Yasuk b'Torah, and the Gemara brings a pasuk for that. And the Gemara concludes, Chash b'chol gufo, if a person has discomfort in his whole body, Yasuk b'Torah, Shenamar, as the pasuk says, U'lechol b'sarei marpei, it heals all flesh.
Right,
he's going to get to that, yeah. V'cheinu b'Veikar, the same kind of Gemara appears in Veikar Rabba Parsha Yud Beis, b'Tanchuma Yisroel, b'Medrash Tilu Mizmor Yutes, right? Shal Yidei Eisek HaTorah, and the bottom line is that through learning Torah, Miskad Shem u'Mizdak Chim Kol Evora v'Gida v'Kechois of Kulam. The Torah sanctifies and purifies all of his organs, all of his sinews, and all of his powers, energies, kulam, all of them. And so they say, Talmud Torah keneged kulam, that Talmud Torah is parallel to all of them. Right? So he's going to speak this out more and more, but so unlike mitzvahs that are very individual and localized, that each one is parallel to a particular part of a person, right? Torah is general. It is the total immune system. It's not any particular organ or any particular vein or sinew. It is the total immune system. So therefore, when a person learns Torah, he's sanctifying his whole being, as opposed to when a person does a mitzvah, that's a candle, that sanctifies that particular part of his being. And so too, in reverse, avoin bitul Torah hu gam ken keneged kulam. The avera of bitul Torah is also parallel to all of them, or worth the weight of all of them. When a person transgresses one of the mitzvahs of Hashem, nifgam rak oisei ha'ever, he damages that particular aver, that particular organ, oy hagid, or that particular sinew, levad, only, amechuva which is parallel to that particular avera. She'achius shel kedusha ve'or ha'elyon, that the life force of kedusha, of holiness, and the lofty light, soid shem havaya is borach asher el kol aver, the secret of Hashem's name, which rests upon every single body part, mistalekas hemeno, is removed from that body part. Umoisa the sitra achra, and the death that comes with sitra achra, with that other side, sharia beirachmanu litzlan. Now it rests upon that particular organ, God forbid. V'nasa balmum, so a person as a result becomes a balmum, right? He is disfigured. His spiritual form is disfigured. Chaser me'oisa aver, he is missing that body part. Okay? Aval ba'avoin bitul Torah, but when a person, chas v'sholom, transgresses the sin of bitul Torah, hu poigim es kol leivora v'gidav, he damages all of his body parts and all of his veins and sinews. V'chol koichos of kulam, and all of his energies. V'chiyus ha'kedusha shel kol gufa mistalekas, and the life force, the holy life force of the entire body is being removed. V'unase teikav kimeis mamish, and at that very moment he becomes dead. She'ein lo shum chiyus, he has no life force. Right? So when a person has the opportunity to learn, right, he can connect to this life force of which is called the Torah, and he doesn't. So it's not that he just missed out on the opportunity to connect to this awesome life force. It is also that he allows for the sitra achra, that negative, that the death, so to speak, death to settle in. Again, when we mean death is lack of life, right?
Right.
I mean, it's not that death is a positive thing. I mean, we look at death as a positive thing, as something that happens. But really, death is a negative thing. If there is no life, the world was created artificially. It's an artificial thing. If there's no life force that keeps on pumping it, so then automatically death settles in. And if this was an opportunity for a person to learn, right, and then he didn't take that opportunity, he didn't utilize it, and that was an important kind of medication to make this world exist, and he didn't take that medication, so naturally the consequences will be not so good. Etc. Right? So this, by the way, also reminds me of Tefillah Zaka. Right? There's a prayer, there's a prayer that people say on Erev Yom Kippur, which was composed by Chai Odom, the person who wrote Chai Odom, Danziger. That also goes through this idea that throughout the year we've defiled this body part and that body part.
Right.
Yom Kippur is
the
right, and he says also, and similarly of Bittul Torah, he goes to Bittul Torah, Keneged Kulam, etc. So it's built on this idea that each individual mitzvah damages each individual body part, and the Torah damages the entire life force of a human being. Okay? And so too, Rabbi said, what is it written in the post of Vatase Odom Kidgei Hayam? You've made humans like the fish of the sea. So the Gemara says, Lama nimshlu b'nei Odom Kidgei Hayam. Why are people compared to the fish of the sea? Loy melecha, to tell you, ma dogim shebeyam, just like fish of the sea, kiven shepoyshim in amayim yad mesim. When they are removed from water, they immediately die. Kach b'nei odom, so to people, kiven shepoyshim in Torah, when they are removed from Torah, miyad mesim, they immediately die. Okay, this is the girsa that the Yalkut has in the Chabakuk. Meaning there are other girsas, but that's the girsa that he's going with. Okay, so in other words, Torah is the actual life force of human being, and if you don't have Torah, it's like fish out of water. Fish out of water. Okay, there's a famous parable, right? Okay, Uberaya mehem nasoif parsha shmini. Manu neyama chiyusun b'maya. Just like the fish of the sea, their life is in water. Oif talmidei chachamim, so too talmidei chachamim, morei masnisin, the masters of Mishnah, chaisaihu beoraisa. Their life is in the Torah. Vi isporshu mino miyad meisim. If they're removed from it, they instantly die. Right. So this, if you remember, he made a distinction between somebody who, just a general person who has an opportunity to learn but he doesn't learn, or such a person that never took those opportunities and as a result was always removed from the Torah. And then there was another level of or a different type of an Avera where actually a person spent a lot of time learning and then he moved on to other things. And those were two different different levels, kind of, so different pictures. So over here, this one, removal from water, is talking about somebody who was learning and then walked away from water. So he is really like a fish out of water. While the previous paragraph talked about more just a person who didn't utilize the opportunity to learn.
He's still a reptile.
Right. V'zeu she'omer Rabbi Seinu Zal, and this is what. So this is interesting. Let's see. V'zeu she'omer Rabbi Seinu Zal imroi odom she'yisurim boyam alov. Right. So there's a famous Gemara in Brachas. If a person sees that he's going through affliction, so what should you do? So the Gemara says yifash peish b'masav. He should analyze his deeds. He should search in his deeds. In other words, he should look to see what Avera did he do to deserve these punishments. So you could do tshuva on that Avera and the punishments will hopefully go away. So now this person, right, Reuven, he sees terrible things are happening to him. He starts looking, he says, what can I have done? Pish peish. So he looked, v'loi motza, and he did not find any Avera. Okay, so Yitla bebitul Torah. So then he says, must be, that time on 2 weeks ago when I should have been learning, I wasn't learning. This is why I'm getting these Yisroel. Okay, so Nefesh HaChaim wants to know, one second, this is a question. 1 second. If we're talking about a guy, he knows that he did the sin of bitul Torah. So, isn't this found? No greater found than this. Meaning, why does the Gemara say he was looking at all his deeds and he didn't find anything? If he didn't find anything, it must be Bittul Torah. So if he knows he has Bittul Torah, so he found it. Right. So he found it. What do you mean he didn't find anything? There he found it. So so how does the Gemara say that he didn't find anything? Right? So I learned initially that we're talking about a guy that no, he utilized every single moment of learning, but he must realize now that maybe he could have learned even more.
Right. But did he really find that time?
But the Nefesh HaChaim is not learning like that. Nefesh HaChaim is learning, okay, if this guy who hasn't done a single sin, and he learned every possible moment, and is still going through affliction, and now rewinding on the tape, he realized, that time that I went to sleep at 3 a.m., maybe I could have pulled on, an all-nighter. Okay, I guess the Nefesh HaChaim doesn't believe that's what the Gemara is talking about. So what is the Gemara talking about? So it says, Amnam, however, Kvar Nizah Rashi Zal Nizah. Really, Rashi was careful with his words. But when he explained over there, Shloim Otza Avoin, that when we're talking about he didn't find a sin. He did not find a sin that would be worthy of those Yisurin that came upon him. Meaning, This guy was looking back. Okay, this guy is, he's going through cancer, whatever it is. I don't know. Let's give this guy lung cancer. Okay, maybe, I don't know. That's not lung cancer. I don't know.
Disease.
Okay, let's give him lung cancer, whatever it is. Going through lung cancer, right? But, okay, he's looking back to see what Naveira could he have done to deserve lung cancer. So he looks back and he sees, okay, the one time, didn't have kavana when he was saying Shema. I don't know, whatever it is, right? Okay, but why is that? What's the connection between not saying Shema and getting lung cancer, right? There has to be, okay, so let's see, he's going to explain. But, right, so he doesn't see, so then we say if he doesn't see that connection, so then he says, oh, it must be the bittul Torah that I did. So then now he's going to explain. Now this is what it means. We know that the Hashem's way is for the action of men to pay mida keneged mida, measure for measure. So therefore, if a person does an avera with a certain body part that he destroyed, upogam b'cheto, he damaged with his chet, with his sin. So al oisoy aver atzmoi. So for that very body part, maybe olav yisurim. Hashem should bring on him the yisurim. V'tachlis kavanoso yisbarach bezeh, and the purpose of those yisurim, from Hashem's point of view, kidei shemitoich hayisurim, that from seeing these yisurim, from seeing these afflictions, yovin ha'odam v'yeda al ezachet bo. You should understand for which sin these afflictions are coming. So he should return to his heart. He should settle in his heart to go back and admit and leave the sin behind. And do tshuva, and it will be healed for him. Right? So the purpose of Hashem, in an ideal world, the purpose of Hashem, the bringing Yisurin, is that a person should be able to see why the Yisurin are coming, go back and do tshuva for that particular. So the Yisurim should signal to us where the problem is.
Right. Go and fix that.
Right.
And you should go away.
Good. Zeu shomru. Let's just keep going. We'll discuss. Zeu shomru. This is what they said. Shim roi odom shi Yisurim boyam alav. That if a person sees the Yisurim coming on him, yifash peish b'masav, he should analyze his deeds. V'yovin darkei mitoich Yisurim. So he should be able to understand his ways from seeing those Yisurim. V'yim pish peish v'loi motza b'yodoi ovoin. But if he did analyze and he was not able to find a sin, what does it mean he was not able to find a sin? Asher chota b'oisei aver b'oisei oifen, that he sinned with that body part in that way, right? So he did not find a sin that corresponds, right? So if he's whatever it is, his hand is he broke his hand, right? So he assumes if he broke his hand, must be he did an avera that corresponds to his hand. He looks back, he says he didn't do any avera that corresponds to his hand. So then what? So there's no midah keneged midah over here. So then the Gemara says yitla bebittul Torah. Then he should realize that it must be connected to the sin of bittul Torah that he did. Why? Ki ba'avoin bittul Torah lo shayach midah keneged midah. Because when it comes to the sin of bittul Torah, then the math doesn't apply. The midah keneged midah math doesn't apply. Why not? Ki bittul chas v'sholom hu noigei lechol gufoy. Because the bittul Torah is the entire body, is all encompassing, right? So anything at that point, any part of his body, of his being is vulnerable to these things, right? Because Torah keneged kulam, and so bittul Torah keneged kulam, right? So that's what he says. Ulechol b'sorei marpeh. So that's what the Gemara means. That first the person looks to see which individual aver could I have done an avera with to deserve this issur. If I didn't find the direct link, so then I guess it must be for the bittul Torah. Okay, now let's just finish off. V'tayma shel dover, and the reason for this is hu k'mosh kasavti le'el b'shar aleph perek vav. Shemekor shorsham ha'elyon shel ha'mitzvos, that the source root of the mitzvos, kluyos ukshuros besoid hashir koima, they are connected to the secret of this Shir Koima, meaning we discussed in the first gate how like the famous words of Arizal, the world is a big man and a man is a small world, right? In other words, that the Beis Hamikdash, the spiritual realms, they're all built on this same map. Let's call that map Tzelem Elokim. He calls this map called Shir Koima, the measure of stature. The Koima is meaning when a person stands. That's my Koima, Shir Koima. So so Shir Koima is this map. So every mitzvah corresponds to a part of this Shir Koima. It's connected to this Merkava. Okay, Upirkei HaMerkava, and the parts of this Merkava, Soid HaOdam HaElyon Kaviyachol. They are this Odam HaElyon. Shekol mitzvah protis, so each individual mitzvah, Sharsha HaElyon Kosher V'nechaz B'oilam V'koyach Echad Me'ashir Koima. So each individual mitzvah, the root of that mitzvah is somewhere tied to that part, to that corresponding quote-unquote body part of the Shir Koima, of this spiritual man, of this initial prototype of creation. V'chein zeh kol ha'odam, so that's the entirety of man, shu gam kein mesuken u'mesudar, that he also was established and arranged b'chol livor v'gidav prokov b'chol protik echoisav, in all of his organs, sinews, body parts, and his energies and strengths, betavnis demus hamerkava, in the form that is similar to this merkava of a Shir Koima. Right, so this is what Tzelem Elokim. That's the whole idea of Tzelem Elokim, that we are these miniature reflections of the Shir Koima. Therefore, kol mitzvah mechuvenes neged ever or gid echad proti shebu'odam. So therefore, each mitzvah is parallel to each body part and each sinew, on just like an individual human being corresponds to that prototype human being, archetype, I don't know, whatever it is. Amnam haTorah kadosha. So that's each individual mitzvah connects us to this Shir Koima. Amnam haTorah kadosha ikoilemas hoilomas kulam. The Torah is the blueprint of the entire creation. It is the whole picture. It's everything. Everything is in the Torah. V'lechein hishkulo neged kol mitzvahs. So therefore, it is parallel to all of mitzvahs. V'lechein hekam kein l'chol b'sorei marpeh. So that's why it heals all flesh, because it brings it's the life force of the entire creation from the very beginning all the way to the very end. Okay, so at least, I mean, this is more or less kind of became already standard lingo in the Jewish world, right? Meaning we understand that each individual mitzvah corresponds to a certain body part, spiritual body part in the creation, and the Torah is the entire light, of creation. So this all kind of fits. The puzzle pieces fit in our minds pretty well.